The rhythmic sound of the train gliding over the tracks was strangely comforting. The world outside the window blurred into soft hues of green and gold as the late afternoon sun bathed the landscape in its golden light. Isabella tucked a strand of her chestnut brown hair behind her ear and adjusted her scarf. Her suitcase rested near her feet, and a travel journal sat open on her lap. She was on her way from Florence to Munich, part of a solo European trip she had been dreaming of for years, one she finally dared to take after quitting her unfulfilling job and ending a long-term relationship that had gone cold. She wasn't expecting to meet anyone. She didn't want to, but life has its own script. Across the aisle, in seat 14B, Liam boarded the train at Verona. He was tall, with dark blonde hair slightly tousled from the breeze outside. Dressed in a navy coat and worn leather boots, he looked like someone who read too much and forgot where he left his passport half the time. He had a camera slung around his neck and a satchel filled with travel notebooks and novels in different languages. When he sat down across from Isabella, he offered a polite smile. She returned it, barely, and looked out the window again. She wasn't in the mood for small talk, but the universe insisted. The train jerked slightly, causing her water bottle to roll and hit his foot. He picked it up with a grin. "Guess we're already sharing luggage now." Isabella chuckled despite herself.
Sorry.
"My bag likes to cause trouble." He leaned forward slightly. "Well, if your bag wants to introduce us, I guess I should listen."
I'm Liam.
Isabella. Their eyes met, and something shifted. A small spark, like the first match struck in the dark. He didn't push for more conversation. He took out his book, The Little Prince in Italian, and started reading. But every so often, she found her eyes drifting from the window to the man in front of her. Minutes turned into an hour. She caught him glancing her way once or twice, and when their eyes met again, they both smiled this time. Eventually, he closed his book and asked, "You traveling alone?" She nodded.
Yes.
"You?"
Same.
"I'm photographing old towns. Looking for stories, I guess. Places that don't make it into guidebooks." "Are you a writer?" He tilted his head. "Not yet, but I pretend I am." She laughed. "I like that." They started talking about places they had seen, foods they had tried, and how they both believed trains were more romantic than airplanes. The conversation flowed like they'd known each other forever. At one point, Liam pulled out his camera and said, "May I?" She blinked. "Take a picture of me? Only if you want. You look like you belong in a novel right now." Her cheeks warmed. "Okay, just one." He raised the camera, smiled through the lens, and captured her just as she looked out the window, sunlight in her hair, eyes full of thought. When he showed her the photo, she said quietly, "I look peaceful." "You look like someone who's starting over," he said gently. The train slowed down as it neared a scenic overlook. Mountains rose in the distance, and fields rolled endlessly. Isabella stood to stretch and walked to the connecting space between cars. Liam followed a few moments later, both of them now leaning on the railing between the open windows. The wind played with her hair. He watched her for a second too long. "This view is stunning," she said. He looked at her. "Not the mountains." "It is." The silence between them was thick with possibility. Then he said softly, "May I do something crazy?" She turned toward him. "What?" "I want to kiss you. And I don't know why. Maybe it's the train, the mountains, or just the fact that you feel like someone I was meant to meet." She stared at him. Her heart pounded. And then, without a word, she leaned forward. The kiss was slow, uncertain at first. Two travelers finding each other not just in distance, but in emotion. But as their lips lingered, it deepened, warm, true, and full of all the unspoken thoughts they hadn't yet dared to say. When they pulled apart, both of them laughed softly, nervously, as if the kiss had made the whole world tilt just a bit. "I didn't think this trip would include a kiss from a stranger," she said. "I didn't think a stranger could feel this familiar," he replied, as the train rolled into the twilight. They returned to their seats, now sitting side by side. Not just passengers anymore, but perhaps something more.